here in the Dallas, Texas area. But more specifically, today, let's talk about the city of Celina. Now, in some of my other videos, I have talked about Celina, but more specifically on the particular neighborhoods and the new construction opportunities that Celina has. But I kind of wanted to dive a little bit more into what is actually happening in Celina and all around the city of Celina, because I'm getting a lot more questions from people wanting to make that move here and asking about a bunch of different communities. So I figured we'd kind of dive in to what exactly Celina has to offer. Now, let's talk a little bit about the location before we kind of dive into the 10 things that I wanted to talk about here today. And obviously, location is always a big deal, especially if you are moving here and thinking of commuting for work, depending on where your work might be located. So the city of Celina is in the far north Dallas area, about 47 miles straight north of downtown Dallas. So it is definitely a hike if you are planning on commuting on a regular basis. In fact, that's why you reach out to me, because I am going to tell you like it is, and I'm not going to beat around the bush about how our traffic is. So if downtown Dallas is an everyday occurrence, I am most likely probably going to tell you, find another area here in the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex to look into before I would kind of suggest looking at the city of Celina. But because of its location to the cities of Prosper and Frisco and McKinney, for example, Celina could actually end up being a really great option if you're looking to make a move here. But also, maybe you're looking for more of that small town city and atmosphere, and maybe you work from home. Celina could also be another really great option. So let's kind of dive into the city of Celina. Let's dive into the top 10 things I wanted to talk about today. And as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Now, the number one reason why a lot of people may want to consider Celina is because of the small town charm, but yet we still have big city access. So Celina does give you that really warm, small town charm that you might be craving, with quick access to some of the major cities, especially cities like Frisco. I have gotten tons of questions and comments from people moving from big cities who are just downright tired of it and want something a little bit more on the outskirts of all of the hustle and bustle. So because of that, Celina might be a great option. So even though it's 47 miles to downtown Dallas and a lot farther than that to downtown Fort Worth, it's only about 14 miles to the heart of the city of Frisco, for example. So if that's where you're looking to maybe work on a regular basis, it could be a great option, but maybe even a great option if you're working over in Plano or parts of McKinney, for example. But of course, reach out, let me know, and I'll help guide you a little bit better on that, depending on if you do need to commute regularly for work or even to the airport. Now, number two, though, that I want to talk about is the amount of growth and opportunity that Celina is seeing. Now, Celina is one of the fastest growing cities here in North Texas. So whether you're looking to invest in real estate or maybe start a business, there's still a lot of opportunity available. So with all of the new housing developments that they have in the city of Celina, and lots of retail spaces are starting to open up and tons of businesses are starting to pop up, this is honestly one of those areas that is just buzzing like crazy with a ton of growth. Now, the population of Celina for 2024 is projected to kind of end out anywhere around 45 to 53,000 people. Obviously, we probably won't get a lot of those numbers until the beginning of 2025, but that's a lot. Now, in 2020, well, compared to the other numbers that we're going to talk about here. And by 2029, the projected population of Celina is supposed to be over 110,000 people. So over the next 4 to 5 years, they're looking at that population continuing to double. Now, it is known for being one of the fastest growing cities here in the United States, and its population has nearly tripled since 2010. So in 14 years, it's tripled. Now, in the next 4 to 5 years, it's going to double. So tons and tons of growth is continuing to happen in Celina. Now, number 3 on our list is for those that might be moving with families, or maybe you're looking to start a family here soon, and that is going to be Celina's highly rated schools. Now, Celina School District is one of the top rated in the area of North Dallas, with tons of excellent academic programs, sports, as well as extracurricular opportunities for your kiddos. Now, parents do love the fact that it's a close-knit school community, and that also, Celina ISD is expected to triple in the next 10 years. So it's only going to get better with new schools and new opportunities coming into the Celina ISD program. Now, while it's still a pretty relatively young school district. It did open its fourth elementary school in the fall of 2024, and it's opening up an additional elementary school, the fifth one, in 2025, and a new middle school in 2026. Now, that is just the start, and obviously they are getting ready to open more high schools as well as more elementary and middle schools as time goes on within the next 10 years. Also, a lot of Celina is actually zoned for the Prosper ISD, and Prosper ISD is growing leaps and bounds and is one of the really highly rated, desirable communities here in DFW as well. So definitely another reason to reach out to me if you're more concerned about where you want to live based on school districts and different types of schools. Even if you are in Celina, a lot of them do feed into Prosper. But if that's important to you and you want to make sure you get into the right area, another reason, reach out to me and let me know how I can help, because not all the time you're going to find that information online. Plus, another thing to take note of, as communities like this are continuing to grow so rapidly, a lot of those boundary changes are going to continue to change throughout time. So, one can only tell if you're going to stay in Celina ISD or Prosper ISD based on the community that you're moving into. I will say, though, if maybe you're getting ready to start your family and you don't have kids yet, and you move into a community where there's already an elementary school within the community, that's something that probably won't really change, because usually if it's within the community, most of those kids are already going to be attending that elementary school. But middle schools and high schools could definitely change based on the location of whether or not they're inside the community or not. So another thing to take note of when you're moving here, because these school districts are growing so rapidly. All right, number 4 that we want to talk about is the safety. Now, safety of a small, quiet little town. Now, obviously, safety is going to be a really big deal to most people trying to determine where it is that they want to move. And Celina currently has a rating of 64, making it 64% safer than all of the other cities in the United States. So with the city having a lower crime rate, it makes it a perfect place to consider for raising your family. And you'll love how family friendly and welcoming the neighbors are too, from everything that I have heard from other people who have made the move there. Now, Celina, Texas is among one of the safest cities in all of Texas for 2024 by SafeWise. It does come in with a ranking of number 31 on the list, and this ranking is honestly a really good testament to the city's dedication to make sure that it continues to stay a safe and secure environment for all the community members. And this is out of 313 cities that they did rank in the SafeWise study. Now, safety, obviously, always super important for people when trying to consider which area might be the right fit for them when making a move. Now, number 5 on the list is going to be the amount of outdoor recreation opportunities. Now, if you're really into the outdoors, Celina is packed with parks, not only within neighborhoods, but throughout the city. They have lots of hiking trails, fishing spots, and tons of playgrounds, which are going to be perfect if you are coming with your children. You can spend weekends soaking up nature without having to actually travel super far, but be able to get out and enjoy it, especially when our weather is super nice, which is our favorite thing to do. It is also really close to both Lake Ray Hubbard as well as Lake Louisville, which is obviously another great thing to do here in Texas, especially in the hot summer months. Now, number 6 on our list is going to be the tight-knit community that you're going to find within a smaller town like the city of Celina. Celina, honestly, is all about community. So whether it's getting involved in showing up to your Friday night football games, or maybe the monthly farmers markets that they host, you're going to really honestly feel like you belong in this small little community. Everybody seems to know each other, and not only do most of the master plan communities put on their own individual events, but the community puts on a lot of events throughout the city throughout the year as well. And I hear that they're continuing to keep that growing, and a lot of things are just starting to become regular occurrences in the city each and every year. So lots of opportunities to just kind of connect with your neighbors and your friends all within your same community and area. Now, the number 7 thing on our list is going to be their fun downtown scene. Now, not every city here in the DFW metroplex has a great little downtown area, but Celina has had one for a while, and it's just continuing to get better and better. So when you're speaking of like those downtown communities and it growing with local businesses and boutiques and restaurants, It's one of those areas that you're going to love getting out and exploring all of their events, maybe going out with your girlfriends and grabbing a coffee, or just dining at one of the local restaurants. So Celina does not have a ton of what we call their chain restaurants and the chain stores. So it's somewhere that you just can get out and just be part of the community and support the local businesses. So everybody's always talking about support small business. Well, you're going to find a lot of that in Celina. And it's just nice when you can get out and just kind of get to know the owners of certain restaurants and stores and get out and support them without having to travel to some of the bigger ones in some of the bigger areas here in DFW. So speaking of community events, it's the community events that do take place all throughout the year that is what kind of helps bring the residents of the particular area of Celina together. It just helps make people feel like they kind of belong within the community and that they were made to be there. I have heard it multiple times now how much my clients have loved moving to Texas because of these exact reasons and moving to some of these small towns. Now, their downtown area of Celina does host a lot of events. They have their Cajun Fest, which has been going on for years now, as well as Beware of the Square, which is their big Halloween event, Christmas events, as well as their Splash and Blast. And they all provide tons of entertainment and opportunities just for that community engagement, which does make Celina a pretty lively place to live. I mean, just attend one of their local events and the community really won't end up seeming that small after all. It's just all of a sudden the entire town comes together and it just doesn't really seem like a small town anymore. And I absolutely love that about these small areas. But of course, Celina is continuing to grow, and who knows what that's going to be like in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, number 8 on the list is going to be the affordability and the value that you're going to get for your money if you are looking to purchase a house. Now, compared to some of these other popular Dallas suburbs, Celina does offer a lot more value for your money when it comes to housing. You can find big, beautiful, spacious homes at prices that aren't always maybe going to break the bank. So whether you're looking for new builds or maybe a little bit more space, Celina kind of right now has it all. I get it all the time for people saying that they're moving from cities, like maybe California or Chicago, just a couple of examples recently, and they want more space. They kind of feel like they're just right in the heart of the city where everything is super congested, and they want something a little bit further outside of town. Now, the average price point of a house currently, though, in Celina is $650,000. So all of MLS right now is $375,000. But obviously, a lot of that is because of so much new construction that is happening in the city of Celina. So when we look at our MLS, total homes for sale is 494, with prices averaging from $299,000 to $9.5 million, but you're also going to get that on 10 acres. So one thing that you're going to be able to find more of in Celina, obviously, at least for now, is some land and some more spaces to be spread out. But of course, that's probably not going to last forever with everything that they have coming. Now, as for new construction, currently listed in MLS is 268 new construction homes, and those prices are ranging from $299,000 to $4.2 million. So totally depends if you're getting a custom home or one of those smaller homes in a smaller master plan community. Prices are kind of all over the place, and it's going to completely depend on the neighborhood and the location within Celina that you are looking. So reach out if you have any questions. More than happy to help. Now, number 9 on our list is going to be the future proof of the infrastructure. Now, because of how much growth Celina is experiencing, the city is really investing heavily right now in the infrastructure in order to accommodate all of the growth that they're, waiting for and that is happening. Everything from expanding the roads to improving their public services. Celina really is working on preparing for the future, kind of making sure that it is able to keep up with the booming population and the amount of growth that honestly they already have in the works right there in the city. So Celina does face a lot of challenges though as it continues to grow because of all the infrastructure needs. There's a ton of traffic up there, especially during rush hour and all of the 2-lane roads that you're kind of having to go down right now. It's currently, honestly, kind of hard to get around DFW since there is no highway up through the city of Celina yet. But they are working on ensuring their sustainable water supply and developing a lot more parks and outdoor areas. So it's going to grow a lot. There's going to be a lot of beautiful areas up in Celina. And right now it's a lot of farmland. But so much growth is happening, and it's honestly like driving through the countryside, I feel, when you get up into the city of Celina. So there are also a lot of projects that Celina is currently undertaking. Those are including building a new downtown center. They're also extending the Dallas North Tollway by 6 miles all the way up through the city of Celina. And they're building the Collin County Outer Loop, which is going to someday travel all around the outside of the DFW metroplex. I mean, I don't even remember how many miles that's going to be someday, but it's going to be massive. But that is currently under construction up and through the city of Celina as well. So right now, they even have construction going for a new Costco and an HEB. So honestly, when Amazon delivers, I'm pretty sure you don't need much more than that. So you're going to have everything you need if you are considering moving to the city of Celina. Now, because last but not least, what is known all around the state is that you're going to experience the very famous Texas hospitality. And you're going to get it more so in a small town like Celina. The people in Celina, I have been told, actually, and every time I've been up there and some of the stores and restaurants we've gone in and out of are very warm, friendly, and are always willing to help lend a hand. It is not just one of those places you just move in because you need a roof over your head. It is one of those communities that you're going to want to actually become a part of. You're going to want to be out and about and get to know your neighbors. And with so many people moving to the area, it's like everybody's new. So everybody is there to help each other out. Now, I was just talking to one of my clients, and in fact, he has now raved about it, I think 3 different times, about how shocked they were that moving here, how friendly everybody has been and how much they absolutely love it. I mean, being invited to barbecues and just everybody from, I think the mailman to the plumber to the cable guy that came by, and they have just been absolutely blown away. And I think a lot of it has to do with that small town mentality and everybody helping everybody out, and they have absolutely loved it. So I'm curious, what do you think? Does Celina sound like it could be your future home? If you are ready to take the leap, maybe hit that subscribe button down below, give me a thumbs up, and leave your comments down below to give me your ideas of what you think about living in a small town, moving somewhere like Celina, or maybe is that a little bit too quiet, maybe a little bit too much construction for you? Everybody has their opinions for sure, but Celina is growing like crazy. And if you are considering making that move to Celina or anywhere else here in the DFW Metroplex, don't hesitate to reach out. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, because I would love to help you make that move here to the Dallas, Texas area. And as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, take care.